Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another little cheeky little match preview and team news and rundown of the latest daily goings on at Manchester United. And of course, previewing the game tomorrow, predictions, team lineups, all that good stuff. Come on, United, we're going to fucking smash up those toffee melters, mate. I can't wait. We're going to take the toffee hammer to those crumble jobs. How you doing, guys? Thank you very much for getting in there for today's show. Let's be having you. How are you all doing tonight? Thank you for joining us. Shout out to every single one of you that's in the chat already. I can see Big Bear getting in here like a big legend, sir. And Aaron and Dublin Games and Habib Garouche. What's going on? GSG Mark, Blake Butler, Red, Malps, The Mustache 3, Don Berber. Let's be having you, my son. Legend. Mark Nurse, Duncan Belifo, Scooby One, Gav Dog. Yes, Crazy Joe Devola and Alex Walker and Malps. And everybody as well. Thank you very much for getting in here. Happy Friday, guys. It's Friday night. We don't usually do a late night stream on a Friday night previewing the game, but the game's on very early tomorrow, so we're not doing one on the same day. So we're here late night to get in there raw and discuss the game. So you've come to the right place if you want to talk Manchester United and you want to talk Manchester United drubbing up Everton tomorrow. That's right. Gung Shi, you handsome bastard. Welcome back in the stream, you legend. Let's go. And Bell6891, great to see you also. Joe Shepherd, Adewale, Trevor Miller. Jonathan Gallagher just kicking things off here with his highlighted member comment before we get into the preview, mate. Thank you for being a member for 2 years. Let's get a hashtag 2 years, mate. Happy birthday to you. It's actually not your birthday, but happy anniversary, I mean. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Jonathan Gallagher, mate, for being a 2-year member. Happy anniversary, buddy. He's been 2 years a member. He says, I'd like to see Palistri start tomorrow, pig, mate. I'd like to see it too as well, Jonathan Gallagher. Do I think it's going to happen? Not really, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Thank you so much. Let's get a hashtag 24 in there for Johnny Gallagher. You're a legend, lad. Thanks for supporting the channel, being a member and all that jazz, and a moderator and all the rest of it. Jarvis Cocker, what's going on, Jarvis? Leon, sticky toffee pudding tastes good, doesn't it? Yes, I'm with you, bud. I'm with you. The Laughing Celt, Ryan Farajala, yeah, Mark Nurse, Joe Shepherd, Hunar. Great to see you, Hunar, as well. Says we tweeted the stream already. Thank you for retweeting the stream, Hunar. Yes, I will ask you all at the start of the show, then if you want to give us a cheeky little retweet or give us a share around anywhere, that would be amazing. Aaron's put the tweet at the top of live chat, so go and check out that on Twitter and give us a little share around if you want. Do us a favour at the start of this stream, everyone. We've got 75 legends watching already. Let's get 75 likes. Like Spike, hit the thumbs up button on the start of this show if you haven't done so. That would be awesome. Help us get to 169 likes, dudes. Yeah, drop a like on it. It's free. Boost us up in the algorithm, all the rest of it. And get yourself in there and say hello as well. And of course, we are going to have a big Q&A at the end of the show as well. Get your thoughts and opinions in throughout the show. We are fully interactive. We will dip in and out of the live chat and see what you legends are saying after I've said my pieces. And then we will, of course, get into the Q&A at the end of the show as well. So thanks for joining, guys. Mohammed and Amin as well, and Alex Walker and everybody. So, Manchester United versus Everton. Everton, last time we played them, they were complete crumble jobs under fat Frank Lampard, who's now at Chelsea. Oh, my goodness, what a Chelsea on. Appointing fat Frank to the end of the season, my son. You what? Anyway, they've had a crumble job shambles there, guys. Just like to talk about it. It fills me with joy, the fact that they've gone and got Fat Frank, who got sacked off at Everton, and seems to have about the same managerial acumen as Christine Bleakley does at motor racing. You know what I mean? There's not exactly much going on there. He was a fantastic player, but is he a fantastic coach? I mean, to be fair, Chelsea is his club. We'll see if he can do better. I don't think he's going to do any worse than Potter, in all fairness. Potter was absolutely having a complete mess. But anyway, this isn't about Chelsea. It's about Everton. And who have Everton got? That's right, they've got Sean Dyche in there now. He's a complete melter in himself. You know, he likes to eat worms from the garden. And if his missus hasn't rustled up a nice hot plate of worms by the time he gets back from Goodison, she's got hell to pay for. So we've got to contend with Dyche. We know all about him. He is a bit of a nullifying mess when it comes to trying to play up against his teams. They're defensively sound usually. He has sort of settled the ship there. He has got them performing quite a bit better, really, than when Fat Frank was there. So it's not going to be as easy a game. But, Sean Dyche's there. We've got a membership comment here from Bell6891. Bell, thank you so much for getting in here, bud, for being a member for 28 months. Everybody, let's get a cheeky 28 in the live chat for Bell, mate. Appreciate you being a member all this time. So, yes, Bell 6891, he says hundreds and fiddies and Frank's big diddies. Right, okay. Very, very astute words from you there, as always, Bell. Thanks for being a member for 28 months, though, you handsome bastard. Let's go. Yeah, he eats bags of gravel for dinner, doesn't he? So it's long gone are the days of melting at Burnley. Now he's got a proper big club at Everton. And you know what's funny is that they could set a record tomorrow, which will be Manchester United winning against another top-flight opposition the most times. So, of course, previously, we've actually beaten Tottenham, I think, 39 times in our Premier League history, which is a record. And tomorrow, we can actually look to equal a Premier League winning record when we beat Everton again. So if we beat Everton, then what happens is we've been victorious against them 39 Premier League fixtures. So that's at the moment it's 38, which is the second highest number of wins that one team has managed against another English team, which is more a credit to Everton really, because obviously they are stalwarts in the Premier League. But it just goes to show you how dominant Manchester United have been against them in the past, because if we beat them tomorrow, that will equal the record that we've got against Tottenham. Tottenham hot shite holds that record at the moment with 39 losses, mate, against Manchester United. So get in there, my son. It's absolutely beautiful. Hey, it's a legend in the chat. It's good vibes. John, what's going on? John Shin, mate. Great to see you. I haven't seen you for a bit. Great to see you. Just everyone, let's say hi to John Shin. What an absolute legend. Shout out to Good Vibes John. Always sending those good vibes across the ocean, mate. Great to see you there, John. I hope you're doing well, lad. Get in there, my son. He says, let's go. Great to see you, John. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. Right, sorry, where was I, guys? I got a little bit distracted because Mr. John Shin, the legend's in the live chat there. Right, yes, 39 games will be the number if we beat them, guys. That just goes to show you how much we drub up Everton in general, doesn't it? In terms of the form, though, in terms of the last few seasons even, we actually haven't beaten the Toffees at Old Trafford in the league since October 2018, because all the last few fixtures that we've had against them at home have finished all square in draws. So, if you're looking at that, I don't think we can really take anything from that, really. We're a new Manchester United. We've got Erik ten Hag at the wheel. He's obviously got us to be a better team. Before the last game, though, I must say we were not exactly blowing the world away, were we, with our performances against Liverpool, against Southampton, against Fulham, against Newcastle. They're not very good. But we certainly have got back on track against Brentford. It was a better performance. We dominated Brentford. Brentford are a much better team than we made them look, or they made them look, whatever, which way you want to look at it. I don't think they really turned up properly, but we certainly dominated them from the off. And it could have been more, but in the end, it was just a sort of chilled out professional performance against them. But we had that fight and tenacity again. Clearly, we're a much better team at home, guys. We do have an impressive home record. We're somewhat of a fortress at Old Trafford now, which makes me think that we will, do a good job tomorrow against Everton. But like I say, the last few fixtures at Old Trafford, when we've played Everton the last few years, they've ended in draws. So we've already beat them twice this season, though, obviously in their gaff and in the FA Cup as well. So we've smashed up Everton. But Fat Frank Lampard's Everton is different to Sean Dyche's Everton. Sean Dyche's Everton is going to be tougher to break down. They're going to be tougher to beat. They'll probably come and just try and park the bus, in all fairness, and try and hit us with counters and, and try and basically get something on a set piece. Or, they won't be pushovers, but I don't think they're going to be coming to take the game to Manchester United tomorrow at Old Trafford. So in terms of the form, let's look at the form for this game going into it. Man United, not the best in terms of the form guide. So we're 8th currently in the form guide for the league. We like to talk about form, don't we, on this channel? We bloody love it. I love talking about form because it shows you sort of where's a team at, really, in terms of how they're actually doing. Yeah, okay, your team position in the league is one thing, but it's very important to analyse the sort of form you've got going into it. And our form, as I mentioned before that Brentford game, was gash. But that Brentford game sort of got us back on the win column. And that's great. Our current form is 8th in the league. We go back 6 fixtures in the league. We've beaten Leeds. We've beaten Leicester. We lost to Liverpool. We drew with Southampton. We've beaten Brentford, and we lost to Newcastle before that Brentford game. So that's our form. 3 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. Not the best, But Everton, although they've been doing better, and although Big Sean Dyche, Big Sean Dyche's done well, and he's eating a lot of worms, and he's getting them up in the morning, and they're all eating loads of worms and all that sort of stuff. He's still, there's still only a couple of places above the relegation zone, so they're gonna they're going to have to, put in a good performance. In fact, in points-wise, they're actually the same as Bournemouth, who are at 18th place right now, both on 27 points, as well as West Ham and Nottingham Forest. However, Everton, Forest and Bournemouth have played the same amount of games. So from their point of view, they're going to try and get some sort of result, aren't they? They're not just going to come to United and bend over. But I think they'll be more focused on trying to make them hard to break down, hard to beat, and maybe try and look for a draw. So, but from that point of view, I mean, Manchester United should go and dominate Everton in terms of the form. Their form is, they drew with Tottenham. That's not saying much, is it? Okay, fair enough. Tottenham decent side, but they're a bunch of bloody bottle jobs, mate. So the Toffees versus the mashed potatoes. Bottle jobs, mate. So that's not really saying much. They also drew 2-2 with Chelsea before that, right? Yeah, big whoop. Like we talked about Chelsea at the start of the show, they're having a crumble job season. They're literally a mid-table 11th place dash team at the moment. It's great to see. Let's just get a laughy face emoji in there once again for Chelsea scum. Because it is lovely to see them shitting the bed. But just the fact, on paper, you look at those last two results for Everton, and you go, yeah, those are good results, aren't they, against Spurs and Chelsea? But not really, because both of those teams are absolute crumble jobs. So, okay, that flatters Everton, I think. Before that, they did beat Brentford, though, 1-0, which is something to write home about for them. And then they drawn with Nottingham Forest. They lost 4-0 to Arsenal. They lost 2-0 to Aston Villa. They're 14th in the form guide in the Premier League. 14th in the form guide, guys. So not fantastic. And they're, like I say, 16th in the league. So let's not beat around the bush here. We're going to batter them tomorrow. We're going to absolutely batter them. That's my humble belief and honest opinion, is that we batter them. I'm going to just get in there with a score prediction right at the start of this I'll start this preview today. And I'm going to say 3-0 to Manchester United. Clean sheet. Drubbings galore of Everton. 3 different goal scorers. Rashford. Let's say Martial. Let's say Tony. Go on, Tony. And let's go with Bruno Fernandes. That's my prediction for the game. 3-0. Everybody, get your score predictions in the live chat. Let's go through them real quick, see what you legends are saying. Then we'll commence with the preview again. But let's have a look, see what you guys are saying. So, Ulf says it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Well, based on the last couple of seasons at home, that is possible. A 1-0 easy to United. I like that one, Madhouse. 1-0 win again tomorrow, says Vutinator. You predict a close game, says Jonathan. Red says 2-0. Crazy Joe says 3-0 to Everton. Interesting. I don't come on. I mean, stranger things would have happened, but I don't see it. I don't see it based on how sort of gashed they are. Pete Morris says 2-1. Oh, that's brilliant, Andy Young. Well done, my son. That's lovely. 4-0 says Duncan Belivo. 2-0 says Chloe Jenkins. How you doing there, Chloe? Mark Nurse says 5-1 to United. I'm loving that. Dean says 1-0. Gav's going for a 0-0. 2-0 says Elliot. 4-0 says Dublin. 2-0 says CHA Ballers. Berber thinks it's going to be a draw, sadly. 2-0 says Alex Walker. 3-0 says Kieran. 2-1 says Aaron. 1-0 says Everton. 2 Everton says Mr. Luigi. Grace Sheridan says 0-0. Gungshi says 3-0 with the goals from Marcus and Anthony. Go on, Gungshi. Gungshi's loins are similar to my loins, aren't they? Let's compare. No, they are similar. He's often got a similar vibe. He's feeling the 3-0 as well. Just listen, when Mystic Pig and Don Gungshileone's loins are tingling, and they're tingling away, and they're both saying 3-0 to United, that means something, guys. That means something, doesn't it? Oh, yes, that means something. So I think it is going to be a successful, dominant performance by United tomorrow anyway. We'll see. Dyche's team's never easy to beat. Do us a favour at the start. By the way, if you're just getting in here, I can see it's 124 legends. Do us a favour at the start before we get back into the preview now. Smash a like on this video, guys. Give us a massive thumbs up and help us get to 100 likes. That's all we ask around here. Also, share it on social media. I can see over on Twitter we've had a bunch of retweets, 7 in fact. Thank you very much to the legends Ryan Berber, Aaron, United Hunar, Kane, Jarvis Cocker, Feline Fur, John Boy Cat and Berberini for hitting the retweet. That's awesome of you. Please do go over there and give us a retweet. Our loins are in sync, Gunksy. That's right. We're kind of like 2 ladies who have synchronized their periods. You know what I mean? You what? Anyway, so sorry guys to talk about menstruation in this preview. I didn't really think that was going to happen tonight, but it's happened. You know, that happens though when women hang out often enough, close enough with each other in close quarters. Their periods often synchronize. I feel like this has happened with me and Gungshi, but in the loin tingling department when it comes to predictions. Okay. Right. Oh, anyway, yes, that's right, Bub. We're Man United straighting. Okay. Anyway, let's get back on track now, guys. Let's get back on track now because we need to. Right, let's just talk about Ten Hag and some of the things he's been saying. Let's talk about the team news. Thanks, everyone, for getting your predictions in here, though, and watching this stream, right? Ten Hag's got some team news for us before the game, and he did a presser, obviously, earlier on. In terms of who's fit and ready and available, he has provided us an update on a couple of key players, really, that we need to discuss. The first one being Luke Shaw, who is not available. And he says, and we have to see how it progresses in the coming weeks. So that's really not good about Luke Shaw. Obviously, let's get a hashtag get well soon, Luke. Let's hope that he doesn't have too many Frey Bentosses between now and when he's back, because he does have the capability of banging on a few pounds, this lad, doesn't he, when he's just chilling. So let's hope that he doesn't do that. Let's hope he stays strict and he's just as lean Luke when he comes back. And you know, so he's a bit of a loss for us, but we do have Tyrone Malacia in there, so it should be okay for this game against Everton. In terms of the other options that we've got as well, we did get an update from Ten Hag on Christian Eriksen. Now, as far as I'm concerned, he's been one of the biggest losses for us this season. He's back in the squad, baby. Get in there, my son. Come on, Christian Eriksen. Welcome back, lad. Let's get a hashtag welcome back for Christian Eriksen. So pleased that he's back involved. Now, that doesn't mean that he's going to start the game or even necessarily play the game, but it does mean that he is in the matchday squad, that he is available technically to feature, which is brilliant news for us because he's been such a great player for us this season, and he has been a massive loss for Man United since we haven't had him. So here's a little update from Ten Hag you can see over here. Luke Shaw is not available for tomorrow, and we have to see how it progresses in the coming weeks. But the good news is Christian Eriksen is back in training, and he will be back tomorrow in the squad. Get in there, my son. So really, really pleased that we've got Christian Eriksen coming back into it, guys. He's obviously a huge player for us. Doesn't mean that he's going to play in the game, but hopefully that's the case. And maybe features, gets 20 minutes at the end. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, we need him back in the side as soon as possible because the midfield has suffered with players like McTominay and Fred and these guys. I mean, Sabitz had a really good game last time out, but he's just finding his feet still at Manchester United, but he does look good. So we're probably not going to see Eriksen start tomorrow. But there's a good chance that he will be back for the game after that. So get in there. Hopefully he rests up and gets well soon and just is ready to play for us properly again very soon, because he is a bit of a dynamic midfield beast for us, to be fair. And alongside Casemiro, it's a real potent duo. So we've got Casemiro's last game suspended as well tomorrow. Get in there, my son. So this Everton game is going to be the last game that we have to go without Casemiro in the side, which in my opinion is a huge, huge loss for us. Again, he's probably the biggest loss for us, in fact, out of any player. He seems to transform Man United's team and our fortunes. It's just a much better team with Casemiro in there, or as I like to call him, Clasimiro. He's a very classy individual. But for Man United, he's a big loss. He's facing his final game suspended out of the fold for Manchester United. He will be back in after that. So get in there. That's going to be a huge, huge player to come back into the side. And actually, you know, Eriksen and Casemiro are quite likely to sort of come back into the starting 11 properly together, which will be brilliant because those guys know how to play against each other. Maybe Ten Hag won't want to do that and chuck them both in there, but he probably will because they're just better than anything else we've got, really. So, yes, get in there. I think that's going to be good for us to see Eriksen back. Hopefully he gets 20 minutes or a cameo or just a little bit of time on the pitch, but it's not the most paramount thing. The most paramount thing is just for him to fully recover and get back to full fitness so he can start doing what he's done for us earlier on in the season, which was doing absolutely brilliant things. Ten Hag did say as well, he sort of elaborated and said that he was expecting Christian Eriksen to be out longer. He said he was furious. He said he was angry about the tackle that happened and he was away. He says, as we first feared, we thought we'd lost him for the whole season, but he worked very well. And he said, I think the medical department did really well. And in togetherness, he is already returning to the squad and so is available for the final stage of the season. He said, we're very pleased with that. So it's great to have him back. He's been a big loss. So get in there. Christian Eriksen, I don't think he's going to be starting in the game tomorrow. I think that would be a bit silly to rush him back. But he's fit to be in the squad and to be involved. And maybe he will just get a few minutes. Maybe he won't. But there you go. That's the update on Christian Eriksen. We know in terms of team news and injury issues, we've got a few players out. So Luke Shaw's out, as we've mentioned. And then we've also got players out that we already, know about that are not featuring, such as Donny van der Beek with a continued knee injury. Tom Heaton's got an ankle problem. So does Alejandro Garnacho, so he's still not back, obviously. And Casemiro's suspended. Other than that, we've basically got everybody fit and available. We've got a full bill of health other than those players I just mentioned. So that should give us a good chance in this game. Everton have got a few players out. Decore is suspended. Calvert-Lewin's got a thigh injury. Andros Townsend's got a knee injury. So they've got not 100% squad either. But yeah, it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. In terms of the team lineup, let's get into it then. So I'm going to get it up on the screen. This is what I think Ten Hag's going to select tomorrow, but we really do never know, obviously. It's sort of easy to select a few positions, but let's just get it up on the screen anyway. So this is what I think he's going to go with. We've got De Gea in goal. The back line, he may well go with Dalot again, but these guys have just played a few days ago. So I think if he's got the opportunity to rotate and give somebody else who's good and deserving of a chance an opportunity to play, he will do that. So I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the Spider, comes in at right back. And then I wouldn't upset the centre-back pairing at all. What are you going to do? Bring Mr. IKEA man in there to fold like he does, or Slabbington Maguire? Hell no. So I definitely don't think that is, an option for us. It's certainly not. So I think we've got to stick with the centre-back duo that works with us, which is Martinez and Varane. They're just proven to be our best partnership. And then over on the left side, of course, there is no Luke Shaw. He's injured. So Malacia comes in. He played, about 54 minutes or something of the last game. So he should be conditioned, ready to go, fit and ready to go, no dramas. So Malacia is going to pop in there at left back. In the middle, I've gone with Sabitzer and Fred. The only reason for that really is Sabitzer played like 70 minutes and then was substituted off. And McTominay played like the entirety, I'm pretty sure, didn't he, in the last game against Brentford. So, just from a fresh legs point of view, it makes sense to put Fred in. Sabitzer bossed the game last game, in my opinion, but so did McTominay. I don't often praise Scotty McTominay because he's often not praisable. He's often gash. But in that game, in the last game against Brentford, I genuinely did think he put in a good shift. Not spectacular or anything, but I think I gave him a 7.5 in my post-match rating. He did definitely do a good job for us and put in a very good, full-blooded, committed performance. So this isn't a selection to say, drop McTominay because he was gash in the last game. No, I just think it's more of a case of rotating a little bit, fresh legs. Sabby can start in the whole role there, or not in the whole, in the holding role, and then he can, and allow Fred to get a bit more box to box, and Fred's got those bags of energy. You might well see McTominay start this game again, though, because Ten Hag might have liked what he saw in the last game. I liked what I saw in the last game with Sabitzer and McTominay, to be fair, so he may well go with that again. But just in terms of fresh legs, gone with Sabitzer and Fred there. Now, up the top of the pitch, this is a bit of a point of contention because, well, there's options, isn't there? Weghorst could easily be coming back into the side. You know that Ten Hag absolutely loves a bit of Voot. He loves a bit of Voot, Weghorst. I don't see what he sees in him. He does do quite a bit for the team. He's just basically a big Slabbington Harry Maguire type character up there, but a striker who can't score. He's scored like 2 for us. No disrespect, he's a nice guy, but yeah, he's not quite clinical. I wouldn't trust him to score us and bag us loads of goals tomorrow against Everton. So I've left him out. I've left him out, guys, and I've gone with, at the striker position, I've gone with Tony Martial because he's not really had a proper start. He's back to fitness. We know he's available. It would make sense to utilise him and give him an opportunity and try and motivate him and get him rearing up for this one and to get out there and unleash hell on them. That's what you want, because on his day, Tony's very, very good and he can create and score goals. So I would say that he's a much bigger goal threat than Weghorst. Let's just ask the live chat, though, guys. Who do you think starts in the striker position tomorrow? And who do you want to start in the striker position tomorrow? Let us know your thoughts and opinions. But to me, yeah, you could play Rashford there again. Rashford played there in the last game against Brentford, and you could play a different combo on the wings. But I just think that he's going to go with Tony and give him an opportunity to play. Voot or Martial, says Rajat. Rashford, says Red. Yeah, it could be Rashford again. You never know. Martial, says Gungshi. Greenwood, says Fire Up. That's not going to happen, is it, my son? Rocky, says Martial. Yep. Tony. Go for Tony, says Berber. Yeah. Oh, he says, hang on. He says Veggie will start, but I'd go for Tony. Yep. Martial's better, says Jonathan. Tony, says Joe. Martial, says Duncan. Tony Martial, says Pete Morris. Rashford, Martial on the wing. That's interesting, Gav. Well, Rashford's just a bit better on the wing, isn't he? So if you're going to play Tony, maybe it makes sense to have Tony in the number 9 and play Rashford on the wing. Just because Rashford really, his best position is the left wing. But just to talk about the other players we've mentioned or haven't mentioned, I've gone with his familiar Antony pick. Just feel like he will stick with Antony. Jadon Sancho wasn't exactly the most impressive in the last game. He wasn't terrible either, but he wasn't the most impressive, so I think maybe he'll go back to the bench, and we'll see Antony start on the right and Rashford start on the left, and that allows Tony Martial up top, with Bruno Fernandes in the hole. So we'll see how it pans out, guys, but there's lots of different combinations that could happen. When I was sort of thinking about what team is going to be selected, I almost did put Wout Weghorst up the top there, because you know that Ten Hag loves a bit of Wout, and that means that it frees up some other position for us, Rashford, and almost put Rashford at the striker position, because that is probably our most potent striker, really. He's clinical. You saw in the last game, he was probably man of the match, him or Sabitzer anyway, in my opinion, but Rashford really was the guy who sort of was dangerous up top there, running at them, and in the box even, definitely has a good eye for goal at the moment. He's just comfortable in front of goal, scoring goals. And you can't really put a price on that. You can be a striker, but even the best strikers in the world sometimes, they go through droughts, they go through spells where they can't score. And it's very, very important to have somebody who's confident in front of goal. So maybe putting Martial up there, or maybe putting Weghorst up there, is actually a bit of a mistake, because, well, they're not that clinical at the moment. They're not used to scoring loads of goals right now, whereas Rashford is. Rashford's a goal-scoring machine right now for us, so that maybe makes more sense to have Rashford up top. But I've put him out on the left-hand side, which allows Tony Martial to come back into it and start. Antony on the right. That's the team lineup that I reckon he's going to go for, guys. So we'll see. I mean, there's definitely a few variations that we could see. Dalot could be starting a right back. You could see McTominay in there instead of Fred, and you certainly could see Weghorst or even Rashford starting up the top of the pitch there. But it's essentially going to be something similar to this. And, it should be good enough to get the job done against Everton. If you look at what Everton could potentially put out, I mean, they do have a few injuries, like I say, but their starting lineup's probably going to look something like Pickford, Keane, Tarkowski, Godfrey, Coleman, what's my name? Gay, Mikalenko, that's Mikalenko, Iwobi, Gray, and McNeil. So that's probably going to be a sort of lineup from Everton. And if you ask me, we should be good enough to get the job done. They will be defensively robust. They will be set up to counter. They will be set up to try and snag something from a set piece. But if United play like United can play, especially at home, we should be able to cut them open, create a lot of chances like we did against Brentford, and hopefully this time convert more goals and score more goals. That's the plan. We got 92 likes. Thank you, Dublin Games. Nice one, guys. We're nearly at 100. Keep smashing the likes, everybody. Cheers. And hit the subscribe button, of course, if you're new. If you want to chat and get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat, then please do. All you need to do is subscribe for 0 seconds, and then you'll be able to chat and get yourself in there. But yes, we're near 100, so keep smashing the thumbs up, dudes. Nice one. Anthony or Anthony, says V Cobra. What do you mean? Do you mean Anthony Martial or Antony? Well, it's Antony with an A-N-T-O-N-Y is Anthony Dos Santos, if that's what you're talking about. But, so we could have several Antonys on the pitch tomorrow, that's true. Anthony is a one-trick show pony, says Joe Two-Tone. Yeah, no, true. We've spoken about this at quite a length, actually, recently. He's good, though. He is good, but, yeah, as far as show ponies go, he's pretty good. He has scored some important ones. I thought he was very lively in the last game without ever really doing anything too much. He didn't really create that much for his teammates. And he always he goes for the shot maybe a little bit too much. You can't stop somebody who's a goal scorer from going for goal. But he needs to add different facets to his game. He's just a goal scorer, isn't he? Like, when you see him in the box or you see him outside the box and there's passes on, he could play these little short passes in the box to other players who might be better placed. But he just sees that half a glimmer of hope that he can ping one to the top bins. And he goes for it more often than not, almost all the time, in fact. And it is annoying. It's not annoying when he ripples the back of the net. It's a thing of beauty. He has got a knack of scoring those long-distance beast goals. He's very good at that. But like in the last game, when it doesn't work out for you, it's infuriating. And against Brentford, he's probably had 6 or 7 shots from outside the box with that left foot of his. And none of them were close, ready to go in there. It's all well and good if they go in, but when they don't, it just infuriates you. And certainly if you're some of these players who are playing at the top of the pitch and you're in a good position and he shoots and misses all the time and doesn't give you the ball, it must be a bit annoying. But from his point of view, I think he's been told by Erik ten Hag to just keep doing it, really. Ten Hag surely would have put a stop to that if he didn't want Antony taking so many shots on goal. I think he's given Antony free rein to go out there and try and bag those goals. He is very good at it, but he is a one trick pony. Definitely, I think that's a fair comment. He needs to work on his game, really. He's actually really young. He's still got huge bags of potential and lots of development to do. I think he will actually turn into a wonderful player. Give it a couple of seasons. He's still trying to sort of learn and adapt to the Premier League. It's not that easy. It's a different league. And he's being used in a sort of a bit of a strange way. He's not really playing a conventional winger role at all. He's playing an inside forward role. And he's still expected to do like a bit of the defending and the dirty work and stuff like that. But he's like, you know, essentially he's playing an inside forward. He's not playing as a winger. You've seen him move over to the left-hand side of the pitch where maybe he can do that better, which he's, you know, because he's got that left foot for crossing in, but he doesn't seem as good there. And Rashford, equally, in my opinion, when he's switched up play, or we've seen Rashford maybe moved out to the wide right and Antony go over to the left, Rashford doesn't look as comfortable on the right either. He looks better on the left. So it doesn't really make sense to play Antony on the left. It makes sense to play Antony on the right and have him cut in and shoot. And it makes sense to have Rashford play on the left where he can just terrorise defences and also cut in and shoot. So, you know, it does make sense to stick with what we've sort of been doing in general. But I would just like to see Antony add a little bit more creation to his game. He doesn't always have to shoot. He could always, you know, play a couple more passes and stuff. But he did have a good pass into the box for United's goal in the last game, didn't he? So, you know, he's not terrible, guys. I say stick with him. I think he's going to be a great player in the future. Smash a 1 if you think Antony's got serious potential to be an absolutely boss player in the future. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people writing him off. He's only just, this is his first season, and he's certainly done more than a lot of players in their first season when they come. Think about Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho's been here a lot longer, and he's doing a lot less. Antony is still doing an okay job. He's infuriating at times. He's very frustrated at times. He's selfish at times. He's wayward at times. And he's one-legged at times. And it's very frustrating. But he's actually got bags of potential. He's super skillful. He gets stuck in. He's got a bit of guile about him. I like him. I do like him, actually. I think he's a good player, and I think we'll do well with him in the future. Ten Hag loves him. Ten Hag spent a fortune on him to get him in here from his previous side. He knows him. He loves him. He will work with him. He will improve him. And I think this guy is just getting started at Manchester United, to be fair. Jonathan says it depends if he improves his right foot. Nah, you know, I'm not so sure, Jonathan Gallagher. I'm not so sure. So a one-trick pony he may be, but do you want a one-trick pony? Do you want a pony? Do you want a trick pony to suddenly be a camel or a horse or a donkey? You know, I don't know if you do. I think you just want your trick pony, your show pony, to continue to be a show pony. You know, so maybe he can just polish a few things. Yes, he does need to add some other things to his game and create a bit more as well. Be a bit less selfish. But I don't know. I don't think you can teach him how to use that right foot at this stage, mate. He's so one-footed. It's like Giggs over on the other side, but Giggs was a conventional left winger. But it's like Giggs. Giggs only had one foot as well, really. Certain players just they don't really have that other foot. It doesn't make them bad players. They can still be very, very effective with that one foot. Yes, he's not got that ambidextrousness or whatever. He could just do it with either foot, but he's still got qualities to create with that left, doesn't he? So I think he'll be very, very good. How old is Antony, says Gavdog? He's only 22, isn't he? He's 22, I believe. That's right, exactly, Manos. He could become a one-trick tiger. Think about Iron Robben. So what we want Antony to do is essentially play the Iron Robben role. Iron Robben for Bayern Munich was one of the best wingers, one of the best goal scorers from wide, you know, inside forwards, whatever you want to call them, in the world. And he played on the right side for them, and he would cut in, and he had a left foot, and he would score a shitload of goals, and he would absolutely tear them apart with his runs and but he had qualities to be able to create as well. But he didn't have a right foot on him. He didn't have a right foot. We just need him to do that sort of Iron Robben role for us and be absolutely world class at it. Now, he's going to take time to learn. Iron Robben didn't even do the Iron Robben role for a long time because Iron Robben was developing and learning. He was shit at Chelsea. You know what I mean? He wasn't great at Chelsea. So, he developed throughout his career. And by the time he got to Bayern, he was one of the world's best players. So, you know, it's about having a bit of faith in these guys, allowing them to develop, allowing Erik ten Hag to get the best out of these guys and to nurture them. I think you'll see him put lots of effort in with Anthony to do that. Anthony Ong's got a member comment in here. Thanks for being a member, Anthony On, for 8 months, you legend. Let's get an 8 in there. Thank you, Anthony, for having your say, bro. He comments and he says, Anthony has done well, actually. We bought him for his potential. If he was English, he would not have gotten this much criticism, especially from the media. Yeah, and if he cost 30 million, he wouldn't get any criticism, would he? Let's be real. He's getting criticism because of his price tag. But once again, that's not his fault. He was bought for, what, 80 million? A huge amount of money, crazy amount of money. So therefore, you just hold him in this high regard of, oh, he's got to do it because he's an £80 million player. But that's not his fault, is it? So I agree with you, Anthony Ong. He has actually done pretty well so far. He's not done amazing. He needs to add more to his game. He needs to try and create more and stop being quite as selfish and have a better final product. But he's still got bags of potential, like you say, mate. Bags of potential. And I like him. I like him in general. He's not perfect. He's had some bad performances, like that Liverpool game and certain games where he just sort of let his head go as well. But he's, in general, quite a tenacious player. So I think he'll do good things. He seems to have the right sort of mentality. He's not somebody who's just going to bow down. Jadon Sancho, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about him. Let's talk about Jadon for a second. I've left him out of the starting lineup here, guys, because he didn't look too great in the last game. Jadon Sancho, I know we've talked about him. I'm not going to ask you whether we should keep or sell him or whatever. I think we should definitely keep him for now and see how he develops for the rest of 2023. But he's going to have to start paying the piper a little bit with his performances. He was okay in the last game, but okay is only okay. It's not great. We need a lot more from our players, especially the players that come in aboard the hype train. And he did come aboard the hype train based on what he was doing in Germany and what he was doing for the England national team. And he just seems to, like, his bit of a head's gone. If we're not careful, it's going to be another like Dele Alli over at Spurs, who just has a couple of great seasons, looks really fantastic, and then just completely crumble jobs. It goes off the boil. He's 23. He's got to start performing now. So he needs a big old kick up the arse, and he needs to come off the bench. If he's not starting tomorrow, he needs to come off the bench and do something. Get rid, says Svetan Donchev. I told you. Well, okay, fair enough. Well, would you get rid of Sancho or would you keep him beyond the summer, guys? Let's ask the chat then. But for me personally, my opinion, I said this in one of the last previews, is that we still need to keep the faith a little bit with him. It's not that he's not infuriating, and it's not that he's not having bad games, because he is. But it's the fact that he's still young and he still can turn it around. We've not seen enough to say he's definitely a completely dead loss like Harry Maguire or something. It's not that. He's basically done okay up to a point. He's not really shone for a long time now. He's certainly one of the players that has struggled under Ten Hag when Ten Hag's made almost everybody better. And Sancho sort of hasn't been able to do that. And it's frustrating, guys. But look at Marcus Rashford last season. We always use that as an example. So many people say, get rid of Marcus Rashford. He's Gashford. See you later on, son. What's the point? We've seen now 18 months or a year of gash play from the lad. It's not good enough. He's never going to amount to anything. But now look at him. He has turned it around. So it can happen. Sancho just needs to have like that epiphany moment where he just starts to perform and gets his head right. Maybe he hasn't quite got that dog in him, though. Maybe he's not got that hunger and that mentality like Rashford did, perhaps. But he definitely needs to kick up the arse. I just hope that Ten Hag can just give him a good old-fashioned boot up the arse. I'm talking, go down to his basement here, where he's got Phil Jones locked up. Go through his closet and I'm talking about one of those big pairs of Dutch clogs. The big old wooden, not made of balsa wood or anything. I'm talking oak clogs here. Oak clogs with studs on, yeah? Like leather adorned clogs with studs on. Something that maybe you would wear in like a pride event in Amsterdam city centre or something. Do you know what I mean? Like a big fucking wooden clog and kick him right up the arse, mate. That's what he needs. He needs a big old clog kicking. So I hope that's what happens, and Erik ten Hag does that and gives him a good old Dutch kick up the arse. That's what he needs. And then hopefully maybe he will be able to get back on track, but he needs to do it for the rest of this season and the start of next season. Otherwise, yeah, he's probably going to end up getting sold off at some point. But one thing I would say about him is, who would want him right now? Based on a few things. He cost 73 million for us. We're not just going to let him go for peanuts in the summer. So some people are saying sell, I can see, but he's also on huge money. Like Jadon Sancho, unfortunately, we're paying him hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to be at Manchester United. He's doing nout. Now, there's not many other clubs in world football that would look at his current performances and go, yeah, I want a bit of that, you know. So Jadon's not going to go anywhere for a lot less money. So we're kind of stuck with him. So we have to work with him. We're kind of stuck with him. It's classic Manchester United, isn't it? We buy these players, we give them too much too soon, and we can't get rid of the bastards, you know. So it's kind of another one like that. Let's just hope that he can seriously turn it around and do well. Give him to Chelsea, says Sam. Well, yeah, well, give is the word. You basically have to give him. Jonathan says it's not like Sancho's not shown anything. True, he's had some decent cameo performances this season. I mean, just on Jadon Sancho, it's a good talking point. Let's get Sancho's stats up for this season, right? So, yeah, 16 matches for Man United, 4 goals and 1 assist. It's definitely not nothing, like you say, Jonathan. It's definitely not nothing. It's something. But it's not a lot, is it? That's in the Premier League, by the way. So he's had 16 Premier League appearances, 4 goals and 1 assist. It's not terrible. You know, considering he's been playing a bit part role and he wasn't really featuring in Ten Hag's side for a couple of months and all the rest of it. But it's also a bit crap, mate. And then you analyse it a bit further. 1 in the FA Cup, 8 in the Europa League, but only 1 goal. 2 in the EFL Cup, no goals or assists or nothing. Yeah, you know, it's overall, if you actually look at it, he's not really had a very good season, but he's also done something. He's done something. But that's not very good. That's not good enough, mate. He needs to start doing a lot of things. It's like Rashford last year, barely managed to notch a goal. But now he's a goal-scoring beast. So he can turn it around. Anyway, I say keep the faith with Jadon Sancho. He just needs to kick up the arse with a big wooden clog. There you go. Okay, so... right, moving on then, guys. Moving on. I've got a couple more things I want to talk about. One player who we just mentioned who's an absolute beast for us is Marcus Rashford. Just wanted to talk about this for a second. Marcus Rashford's record against Everton, right? We talked in the last game, his record previously against Newcastle was ridiculously good. Like, going back historically, the amount of goals he scored against Newcastle is a lot in his short career. But for Everton, it's actually the opposite. He has not really had a good time against Everton. So, you know, he's a goal-scoring beast. He scored 27 goals for Man United this season in 46 appearances in all competition and got 9 assists as well. So it's a contribution of 36 goals in 46 appearances in all competition. Doing unbelievable things. He's had an unbelievable season. He's our player of the season. But if you're talking about his appearances and his performances against the Toffees, so he's played them on 15 occasions during his professional career. He boasts a winning record of 9 wins, 4 draws and only 2 defeats against them, which does bode very well. But he's only scored once and provided 4 assists. So I don't think we can really say too much about that, though, because he's a different player now. But I look at these things. I like to bring them up, don't I, guys? Rashford's form against Everton in the past is not really that of a beastly goal scorer. So, but it doesn't matter because, like I say, he's a totally different player. It's basically kind of a pointless statistic to bring up because, you know, it's kind of a pointless statistic to bring up. But I wanted to bring it up because he's only scored 1 against Everton before in the league. He is, you know, so yeah, there you go. But he did actually score once and provided 2 assists in Man United's 3-1 win over Everton in the 3rd round of the FA Cup this season. So, you know, he's probably going to be up for scoring against these toffee mugs anyway. Get in there, Marcus Rashford. But I'll just ask the live chat, guys, who is your player of the season this year? For me, it is Marcus Rashford, closely followed by Casemiro, and then followed probably by the Butcher. But who is your top 3? Let's do your top 3. Who's your top 3 Manchester United players of the season so far? Let me know your opinions. Rashford, then Cassie says fire up. Casemiro says Berber. Rashford says Svetan Donchev. Cassis says Brad Wright. Casemiro says Brad Wright. Yep. Casemiro says Red. Fire up says Rashford, Cassie and the Butcher. Laughing Celt says Casemiro, Rashford and Phil Jones. He makes a wicked cup of tea, that Phil, doesn't he? Casemiro, Martinez and De Gea. Oh, De Gea's a great shout, to be fair, Berber. Yeah, he never gets the shine, does he? In fact, De Gea's the kind of guy where, you know, you can talk about how good he's been. You can see his statistics. You can look at how many stops he makes and how good he is and how many Player of the Season awards he's won at Manchester United. And you can look at all these things and people will still go, we should get rid of him, mate. Because he can't fucking, he's not Scholesy with the passing. You know what I mean? I don't understand all that. He's a goalkeeper. So he's not as good technically as some. But in terms of the other areas of being a goalkeeper, he is about as good as it gets. So I don't understand all this let's get rid of De Gea nonsense. He's still the GOAT as far as I'm concerned for me. In terms of like Manchester United players right now. He's still like the one you can rely on more than pretty much anybody. So, yeah, I'm with you there. De Gea deserves a bit of credit, and he never gets it. He never gets it. Casemiro, Rashford and De Gea has saved us plenty. Definitely Circle Hook Productions, 100% agree. Trevor Miller says Rashford, Casemiro and the Butcher. I like his style, yep. I like his style. Martinez and Cassie are clear in Ten Hag's voices in it, Manduna. But yeah, Laughing Salt says definitely De Gea, Casemiro and Rashford. Peter Panda says Varane, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes. Well, Bruno's been better this season, yeah. He has been better this season, but captain material, yes or no? Bruno Fernandes, captain material, yes or no? It's a no from me, Carol. Just recent performances, like even the last one, quiet game from him. That Newcastle game, guff game from him. That Liverpool game, horrendously awful captaining, gastastic game from him. I actually think he's not the greatest of captains. He's a little bit too emotional. He's a little bit too, head's gone sometimes. No doubt in his qualities, no doubt in that he's probably one of the best creators and even goal scorers from midfield that we could hope for to have, really. He is very good. If you look at his statistics, they speak for themselves. But has he got the bottle? Has he got the guile? Has he got the coolness? Has he got the calmness? You know, don't know if he has. I think he's just a little bit too emotional. So for that reason, I think he's probably not the best captain for us. Next season, I'd like to see it go to somebody else. Circle Hook says you'd vote for Varane. Jonathan says, who else is Captain Pig? Casemiro to me, bud. He's a walking epitome of what I want my captain to be. He carries himself well on and off the pitch. He's determined. He's got grit. He's a cool customer on the pitch. But he's always leading by example as well. He's a leader. So I would say Casemiro to me, but I understand what you're saying. Bruno is a good leader. Bruno is a good, passionate player. He's a lot more of a leader than a lot of the players we've had. But is he the perfect captain for Man United? I don't think so. Is he a Robson or a Keano? I don't think he is. I don't think he's the same. I don't think you could really compare him to those guys. Casemiro, though, can perhaps be more comparable to those guys. But look, we'll have to wait and see because Casemiro's only just come to United. He's got, there's maybe still a slight language barrier going on there. Let's face it. He's not been here that long. His English will get better and better and better. But yeah, that is a factor. That is a factor, absolutely, that needs to be discussed. But either way, anyway, we're not even talking about that, but there you go. Casemiro can hardly speak English, says Alex Walker. Well, there you go. He needs a bit of English language lessons, doesn't he? He needs a bit of lessons. Yeah, there you go, Mustplay says Casemiro is a leader and Varane is a leader. And De Gea, to be fair, is a leader, but we don't like goalies as captains, in my opinion. There will never be another Keano, says Brad Wright. Best United captain ever. Yeah, well, that's true. Mustplay says Alex Walker, neither did Ji-Sung Park, mate. Yeah, he could also be classified as a leader, says Mustplay. Different captains, different players. You know, obviously he wasn't the captain, but different captains, different players. They don't all have to speak the Queen's English, and they don't all have to, be super vocal. Think about Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney was a great leader for us, a great captain, but he wasn't as vocal as a lot of them. He sort of led by example more so than barking orders at people, didn't he? I mean, he did do a little bit of that, but he's not in the same ballpark as somebody like Keano when it comes to barking orders and ordering people around and organising and stuff like that. So from my opinion, you can do it in different ways. You can definitely do it in different ways. So yeah. Hey, United Devil, what's going on, lad? Hope you're doing good. He says, wow, a Man United channel streaming. Thank God no one is on tonight. Big up this channel. Thank you, United Devil. Yeah, well, if you're just getting in, United Devil, make sure you smash that like button. We've got 169 people watching. Let's see if we can get 169 likes on tonight's preview. That would be immense. Give us a like, guys. It's free. Give us a thumbs up. It helps boost us up on the YouTube algorithm. And it's awesome because it helps us compete with clickbait wankers, corporation meltbags, and dickheads. So hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done so. And give us a subscribe as well. Get in the chat and give us a subscribe. Jarvis says De Gea is good, but he can't follow Ten Hag's principles of playing out from the back to control possession, create overloads, counter press, and be tactically flexible to switch play. Well, he did it a bit in the last game against Brentford, actually, but he also gave it away once or twice. So he's trying, bless him. But there was one moment where I saw De Gea get the ball and just ping a 60-yard diagonal to Anthony. It was lovely. And get us going down the right with an attack. So he can do it, but he's just not as astute or as good at that as certain players. But he is a great goalkeeper, though. I mean, I just don't understand the whole get rid of De Gea scenario. I just don't. He's the last of our concerns. We need to get a right back, 2 midfielders, 2 strikers even. But certainly De Gea is the last piece of the puzzle that I would look to replace because he's bloody decent. Thank you, United Devil, for smashing that like button, you legend. I appreciate that, my son. Well done. Circle Hook Productions with a good point here. He says, the amount of chances Weghorst has been given, I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes captain. Quite strange, isn't it? Yeah, I've never known a striker be quite as unprolific as him, but get so many regular games. Maybe Ten Hag realised, though, that's why he didn't play in the last game and Rashford went up the top there and he scored. So maybe Weghorst will be kept out of the side. Weghorst provides this team quite a bit. A lot of people like Weghorst. I like him too. I think he does work hard. They call him workhorse. You know, he's a workhorse. He's like, he's going to get stuck in. He's going to be pressing. He's going to be, physical. But you know what? What I like my strikers to do is score bloody goals, mate. And he doesn't score that many goals, does he? So that's why I've gone with this team selection here that I think Ten Hag's going to go with, which is having Rashford and Martial on the pitch at the same time with no Wout Weghorst starting tomorrow. Because Wout doesn't guarantee you goals. He might better bring others into play a little bit, and he might be a big nuisance up there. Like I said in the watch-along, guys, and this isn't me even trying to be funny or anything, but I feel like, and I don't rate Scott McTominay, by the way. He was good in the last game. He was good for Scotland recently, but I don't rate him generally. I think he's a gash player, right? That's my personal opinion. But in terms of like what Wout Weghorst brings us, I believe if you'd had put Scott McTominay in the position of Wout Weghorst during all of those games, he might have even scored more than Wout Weghorst, and he would still provide you that physicality. He would still provide you that press and all that sort of stuff. And McTominay is not a goal scorer, mate. McTominay is not a striker. He can score goals, evidenced by his Scotland performances recently against Spain and stuff. He can score goals, but he's not a pig-in goal scorer. So what does that really say for Wout Weghorst? I don't think that says very good stuff for Wout Weghorst when I'm saying that Scott McTominay, who's gash, who's not even a striker or forward player, could just do what he does and maybe more. So as good as Weghorst is and as okay as he is and as hard as he works, he's about as good as Scott McTominay is playing out of position. You know what I mean? And that is a big concern. Exactly, Burby said he's making me miss Fellaini. Exactly. So I don't see how we can really get a lot of faith and feel that good about Wout Weghorst being in the team, to be honest, guys. That's just the reality of the situation. He's okay. He's okay for a stopgap. Give me Odi and Igalo any day of the week, to be fair, guys. Give me Odi and Igalo any day of the week. Who'd you prefer, actually? That's a good question, guys. Odi and Igalo for his loan, his temporary time season that he had here, or Wout Weghorst? Who was better? I mean, Weghorst played a lot more games. Ten Hag's given him a lot more games. He's done a lot for the team. But in terms of like actual quality and who would score you more goals, I believe it would be the man Igalo who would be getting you the goals more so. If we had Igalo at that time, go back a couple of years and have him now, he would have scored a lot more goals than Wout Weghorst, I reckon. Igalo, yeah, says Buddy Guy. Igalo says Madhouse and Rocky. Esposito. Yeah. So, anyway, but Wout Weghorst, fair play to him. Ten Hag's got him here. He doesn't have to play him anymore. He could quite easily play Martial. He was playing Wout Weghorst, to be fair to him. He was playing Wout Weghorst a lot because we didn't have another striking option. Ronaldo left us. Martial's an injury-prone melter. We needed Rashford out on the left as well a lot of the time. So, yes, that's really why we saw a lot of Wout Weghorst. Now that Tony Martial is fit and available, you're probably going to see him favoured. He's instantly gone and gone above Wout Weghorst in terms of the pecking order straight away. So he should as well, because he is a more clinical, he is a more dangerous player. 100%. Jonathan says Weghorst isn't fit to wear the jersey. I would say that, but he's just not clinical in front of goal, is he? Leroy Applegate says, if Harry Kane comes to United, do you make him captain? Oh, hell no. Would you make Rodney Trotter captain over Del Boy, mate? That's the question. Del Boy might be a bit of a wheeler dealer, but Rodney was a melter lad. So no. Listen, I wouldn't make him captain. If he's just come in here, I wouldn't make him captain at all. Plus he's got that sort of that language barrier going on there. Because obviously he just wants to play football, speaks for his nose and stuff like that. And that's fine. But if it's hard for people to understand him, especially like people like Casemiro and stuff. So I don't know if he would be the best candidate. But in all fairness, he is a good player. I want him at United. Don't get me wrong. I actually really want him at United to score us goals and be a great goal scorer for us. But I don't want him to be captain. He can't come in and be captain of Manchester United straight away. That would be gash, mate. We don't have a Spurs player with no trophies as captain. You know what I mean? Might as well have pigging Harry Maguire as captain. At least Harry Maguire's got a League Cup medal now. At least Harry Maguire led us and lifted the trophy along with Bruno and lifted the trophy at Wembley and did that, which is much more than Hazard Kane's done, in all fairness. We don't have captains who don't win trophies, mate. You know what I mean? He's got to be a proven winner to be the captain of Manchester United, so definitely not. Andy says, pig nauseous off Kane every night. Listen, I rate Kane. What can I say? I think that's exactly who we should go and sign in the summer, but I don't think he should be our captain, mate. Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, that's right, Nick the Hippie. Well, obviously, Harry Kane, mate. Peter Pan says, Ashley Barnes kept Voot out of Burnley. Say something. Yeah, he only scored 2 in 20 at Burnley, didn't he, as well? United Devil says, oh, come on, guys. Weggy has worked his socks off for us. He's not a United player, but he's spitting for us. No, I respect that. Yeah, good point. I respect that. He works hard. He huffs and puffs, but he doesn't blow anybody away. That's the problem. He's a good workhorse. That's it, man. He's not really going to provide you with goals. But I want my strikers to provide us with goals as well as do some of the other stuff, like create and press and work hard. That should be a given. Those things should be a given at Manchester United. But you should be able to bang some goals in if you're the striker. Would you take Ivan Toney? I mean, I would OHB. Yeah, I would OHB. But in my humble opinion, especially if we get new owners, we need to set our sights higher than even Ivan Toney. He's done really well. I think he's got like 11 or 12 goals this season in the Premier, and he had some time away, obviously. But no, he's got some issues as well, Ivan Toney, hasn't he? He's got some issues off the pitch. But in my humble opinion, we need to aim higher than that. We do need to go for something like Victor Osimhen or Harry Kane, somebody that can get you 20-plus goals. I don't think Ivan Toney's ever going to get you 25 goals a season in the league. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think he's ever going to do that, whereas Kane does that. Osimhen could do that. Those are the sorts of players we should be looking at. So we need to have proper ambition in the summer. Harry Kane is not going to be worth the price tag, says Scott Corden. Disagree with you. Because he's got 1 year left on his contract, 70 million quid, gets him this summer. Otherwise, Spurs lose him very soon for nothing. So they will play ball for nowhere near 100 million. They'll play ball for 70 million. They will sell him for 70 million. He'll get you 20-plus goals a season for 3 or 4 seasons. And then you say, see you later on, send him off to the glue factory. But by that time, he could have won the Premier League. You know? Gambling issue, says Muller FC, precisely. Ah, shit. Sorry about that, guys. I just twatted the microphone with my cup of tea there. Hey there, Kay and Joey. What's going on? Yeah, exactly. I think they call you precisely United Devil Lad. Tony's a shite, Darren Bent, says Pepper. Oh, man. And he says, Pig, even Tony hasn't put money on him coming to United. That says something. I don't think Tony's coming. I don't think we're going for Tony. He's got a bit of baggage, hasn't he? He's got a little bit of baggage. Guys, we're only 6 likes away from 150 likes. Keep hitting the like button. Let's see if we can get 150 before the end of the stream here. Well, I'm going to get into the live chat. It feels like I've already done that, but generally, we sort of haven't had any structure whatsoever to this preview tonight, but it's been a good one. I'm going to get into the live chat now anyway, see what you legends have got to say for yourselves. I'll just move that over there so we can see more of the chat and see the votes. So at the moment, I'll just give you the tally of the votes that have been made. I did ask at the start, who wins? And 80% of the live chat say Man United, 9% say a draw, 10% say Everton. So yeah, we're all feeling pretty confident about this game. And the 10% say Everton are either toffee melts or rival scummers, I reckon. So there you go. Because I don't see, if you look at the form and just the team that we've got at the moment, I don't see how we lose the game. I hope I'm not wrong, obviously, but I feel like we're going to drub them up. It's going to be a 3-0 domination. Kate Cadet says, Piggy, this game isn't going to be easy, is it, mate? It should be, though, Kate Cadet. It should be easy, mate. So they've drawn the last couple against Spurs, who are Spursy, and Chelsea, who are Chelsea this season in mid-table. So, yes, okay, they've done well against a couple of the bigger teams, and they've got some decent draws and stuff. But they're 14th in the form guide. They're 16th in the league, mate. They're on the same amount of points as relegation-ready Bournemouth. They're on the same amount of points in games played. So you say you say it's not going to be easy, but really it should be. And actually our home form has been very, very good. You know, I don't worry about us at home. We've turned Old Trafford into a bit of a fortress. I feel like at home we're really good. It's when we go on the road and we go to other other stadiums that can be cold runs, Anfield, St. James's Park, wherever, that we struggle. But at home, I feel like we're confident. I feel Rashford's just got that Midas touch at Old Trafford. And just because of that, I think we're going to smash them up. But no, fair enough. I mean, yeah, that's true, Dilvani. Sean Dyche's ball is very tough to break down, mate. Yeah, and he's got his lover boy Tarkowski at the back there. You know, organised. They're going to be tough to break down. They'll park the bus, mate. He'll feed them their worms before the game, and you know it's going to be tough. They're always well organised and defensive. I think they'll be coming to Old Trafford to try and nullify, to try and hit them on the break, to try and counter-attack, to try and snag a set piece. You know, I don't think they're going to be playing open, expansive football, going attacking football, so there's going to be few and far between holes at the back there, you know. But even so, Man United at home, we should be able to exploit them. We should be able to cut them open. And as soon as one goal goes in, well, then their game plan goes up the shit creek. And they have to change. And they have to try and get back in the game. So as long as we go out there and score early, we'll drub them up. We'll drub them up. Your predictions 2-0. Okay, for everyone who's just getting in the chat, let's hear your predictions again then. I'm going for 3-0 to Man United. I feel Rashford scores, Bruno scores, and we're going to go a cheeky little one to, who did I say? I've actually forgotten who I predicted now. Martial, that's who. So I think those guys are going to get on the score sheet, and it's going to be a 3-0 drubbing. Dyche is going to fill Tarkowski full of gravel before the match. Exactly, Muller. That's true. Kay and Joey says, thumbs up for Piggy. Thank you, Kay and Joey. 2-1 says Simon. 2-1 says Madhouse. 2-0 says Chloe. 2-1 says Sir Lixum. 4-1 says Stu. 2-0 says Iceman. 2-0 says Dutch Christ. Let's go. Says United have scored at least twice in 16 of their last 18 home games. Love that, Dutch Christ. That's it. Old Trafford's a fortress, mate. We're good at Old Trafford. We're not that good on the road, but we're good at Old Trafford. Duncan Belifo says 4-0 to United. Ulf's going 2-1 to Everton. Anthony Young's going 2-0 to United. I do remember that risky Kernohan, and I was actually looking at the stats earlier, and that I was mentioning, if you look at the last 3 seasons, the home fixtures against Everton have been draws. But this is a new era of United. This is different, lad. But it's never easy. They're always a decent side. Must Play says 2-1 to United for me. Leroy Applegate says 3-0. Rashford, double, and Anthony. Vincent says we've got 154 likes. Get in there. United Devils going for 3-0 as well. And Kay and Joey. Chrissy's going 3-1. Pete's going 2-1. Gungsy's going 3-0. Rashford, Martial, and Anthony. Let's be having you. Meza Mortar, hello mate, says 2-0. The Laughing Count says 2-1. Vincent's going 4-0. Dilvani says 1-0. We'll take a 1-0, won't we? Any which way we get the 3 points, I don't care, to be honest. But yeah, we want to try and win well. 3-1 says TC Boy. 3-1 says Mohammed FN. 2-0 says Lewis. 2-1 says Simon. Hey, Luan France, how you doing? You absolute legendess. Great to see you. I hope you're having a good one, Luan. Get in there, you legendess. Let's be having you. Okay then, guys. Well, yeah, there you go. Great chatter. Great patter tonight, guys. I love it. We'll find out tomorrow. We're going to be doing a watch-along at 12 o'clock, so half an hour before kickoff on this channel, Flying Pig Gaming. No, Flying Pig United. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, Flying Pig United, guys. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe. Click the little bell icon like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda the bells! That way, you won't miss it. But yeah, that's the idea. We're going to be back half an hour before the game. We will be watching the game along, so come and join us. A great community of legends will be there, I'm sure, to watch the game with us. So get back if you can. Burnley back in the Premier League. No Casemiro Pig, mate. No win, says Jonathan Gallagher. You what, Jonathan Gallagher? Are you serious? I mean, we've still got a good, decent set of players to go and get the job done against shitting 16th place Everton, you absolute pessimistic melter. Come on, Jonathan, lad. Casemiro, we won in the last game with no Casemiro, but against Brentford, who are a better team, much better team than Everton. So, I don't think so, Mr. Pessimistic. You know, come on. We're going to be absolutely spot on. Eriksen back, yeah, I don't know if he'll start the game. I don't know if he'll even feature in the game, but he is in the squad there, Kay and Joey. So he'll probably feature at some point. Hart says 8-0, but Head says 1-1, says Berber. Come on, guys. What's going on? Too pessimistic, guys. We're going to smash up these Everton scummers for sure. They're guff. They're 16th in the league. Yeah, 9:30 started down under. Oh, that's dirty, Timothy Robert, lad. Yep, we beat Brentford without Casemiro. Spot on, Simon. Spot on. We're a much better team without. We're a much better team with Casemiro, but we can do the business without Casemiro as well. Don't pretend we can't. It's only shitting Everton, guys. Kate says, I guess there's no FIFA tonight, Piggy. You guessed wrong, Kate Cadet. The price is wrong, bitch. You guessed wrong there, Kate Cadet, lad. It's on. It's on the gaming channel, and it's on in 22 minutes, bud. That's right. I've already set it up for 10:30. We're only going to be able to go into about, I don't know, half 12, 1 a.m., because I'm going to have to get myself off to bed. But let me get you the little link to the stream, man. We're going to be back on there tonight. Don't fanny around and make sure you get over there, man. Here it is. FIFA stream tonight. Boom. Guys, if you're not following my other channel, it's called Flying Pig Gaming. Here it is at the top of the live chat. I'm going to replace the pinned tweet. That's the stream. We've got it set up for 10:30. So 22 minutes from now, we will be starting playing a bit of FIFA action. So come and join us. I'm going to end that poll there as well. And you can see it's at the top of the live chat. FIFA stream, it says. So come and join us. You'll be watching the stream. Good man. Nice one, mate. Get in there, my son. Thanks, Kay and Joey. Yeah, thank you. Big up yourself, United Devil. Thanks for getting in the chat. Must play Simon Warner, Red, Colin Ralph as well. Easy 3-0, love it. Wessex says 5-0 Everton. You what? Dublin Games. Yes, Dublin Games. He's going for 4-0. Top of the morning to your Dublin Games. Let's hope for a nice, easy win. Vutinator says those toffees are coming unstuck tomorrow. Oh, I like what you did there. I like what you did there. Because they're very sticky, aren't they, toffees, mate? Fire up. Let's smash them up, bud. Simon Warner, thank you, bud. Yes, join us tomorrow for the game. Jonathan Gallagher. They are tough to play against, Jonathan Gallagher, but we can beat them, mate. We can beat them, lad. Come on, we are united. All-nighter says Stu. Oh, hell no. Nice one, Elliot Manduna, good man. The Kate Cadet and United Devil and Kieran. Gav Dog, Dave the Gamer, Red, Mr. Leo G, Gungshi, all the moderators like Cake, Berber and Jonathan Gallagher and Vutinator and all the mods. Thank you very much for getting in here and moderating the live chat. Thank you to all the members. People like Luann, Kay and Joey, Dublin, Dilvani, Wessex Mercia, Lewis, Red, Stu, and everyone. Kieran, Gav Dog, Mr. Leo G, Red, Dublin Games. Thanks everyone for supporting the channel and being members of this channel. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you Johnny and Jonathan Gallagher and everyone. Right guys, that's it for the stream. I'm going to see you over here. I'll put the link in the live chat. There it is right there, guys. That's the FIFA stream on the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming. Not this channel, different channel. But we will be back on this channel tomorrow at 12 midday for the game. So make sure you smash the like here before you go. Smash the subscribe button if you're new. And click the bell icon so you get notified when we go live. Thank you, Gungshi, you legend. Have a great sleep, lad. And Madhouse, Bod Barker, Red, Anthony Ong, Vutinator, Dutch Christ, Ads, Lewis, Fire Up, and all of you guys. Thanks for getting in here and watching the show. Come and join us for FIFA then, peeps. And I'll see you over there in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for watching once again. You're a bunch of legends. And come on, United. We're going to smash up Daichi's melt bags. Stop being pessimistic, guys. It's time for United to seal our top 4 fate this season by drubbing up these sticky toffee pudding melters. Come on, United. I'm not scared at all. We're going to batter them. See you then at midday, guys. And see you very shortly for the FIFA as well. Go and subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming on YouTube. And there's the link at the top of the live chat, guys. Or right here once again. Good night, guys. God bless. Come on, United. See you tomorrow. We're going to smash them up. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch at Flying Pig United. The website is Flying Pig United. The merch site is flyingpigclothing.com. And the other channel is Flying Pig Gaming. So go and check that out. And we'll be back tomorrow at it, smashing fools up, hopefully. I'm very confident, Jonathan Gunner. Very, very confident. Come back after this video is finished if you want in the not live comments and get your thoughts and predictions in the comments section. You can get your starting lineups in there, who you think we should select, and also your scoreline predictions. I always love to read them. So come back after this video is finished, get your scoreline predictions in there. And also go over to the gaming channel, subscribe, and click a like on that stream. Let's see if we can get the gaming stream to 40 likes before we've even started, guys. That'd be epic. Right, nice one. Cheers, I'm out of here, guys. See you later on. See you there tomorrow at 12. Be there or be a complete Sean Daichi worm gravel-eating melter. Much love. And remember, Piggy loves you. Also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.